All right. Hello, everybody who is watching another interview with one of my students. And here in front of me, I have Monica. She was with me for a long time. I think she might have been my second longest student. Was it 3 years? How long was it, Monica? I don't remember.
Like 3 years, I think so.
3 years. Yeah. So a long, long time. And she was a fantastic student. I would say Monica was the closest thing to my sister in Latin America because she has very sarcastic humor, but she doesn't have annoying sarcastic humor like many gringas have. So she strikes a nice balance between being sarcastic and being serious. So it's nice to see. If you ever need advice on being sarcastic without being too sarcastic, you ask Monica. And yes, so that's Monica. Well, she's from Bogota. And Monica, how are you doing?
Fine, thanks, Kyle.
And you're at your faculty right now?
Yeah, I'm faculty. I'm a professor
Mhm.
at Javeriana University here in Bogota. And yeah, actually, we are still working till 2 weeks
For 2 more weeks?
at least. Two more weeks, yeah.
2 more weeks, yeah. Yeah, because right now it's December for anybody who's watching this, right now it's December 5th. So you guys do exams when? Is it end of November or beginning of December?
Ending of November. Yeah, we
End of November.
finished.
You
Yeah.
finished, right? But now you're just
Yeah.
marking the exams?
No, actually, I upload all the grades of my
Okay.
students,
So what are you
but
doing
I
then? What are you
have
doing? Still working?
administrative stuff like
Mhm.
courses, reports,
Uh-huh.
meetings, a lot of meetings in these
Ah.
days, and
Mhm.
that's what.
Is it
Because
in-person
I'm full
meetings?
professor.
Oh yeah,
Um,
because Monica always talked about that in classes because Monica, if you're watching, you think Monica, oh, she looks very young. She's probably still a student, but no, Monica, she's a full professor. So every week, every month, Monica has to deal with people thinking that she's a student at university and not a professor.
yeah,
So yeah,
that's
she's
right.
reminding everybody she is a professor. Okay, respect, please.
I
All right.
try to dress like a full professor, but I don't know what's happened with my face.
Yeah. Monica has the fountain of youth in her face. She just keeps looking very young. All right. And how long have you been a professor for?
Like 7 years,
7 years.
I
Yeah, so a
think.
long time. So yeah, 7 years being a professor. So if you're a professor in Colombia, that means you have a master's, or do you also have a PhD?
I have to get into the position as a full professor. I have
Yeah.
to done my master
Mm-hmm.
and start to apply to my PhD.
Mm-hmm.
But with all the things of pandemic, I have
Oh,
to
okay.
postpone this process.
Yeah.
But fortunately, the next year,
Mm-hmm.
maybe in April, I went to do my PhD in Netherlands.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, so before the pandemic, you were telling us that you were talking with professors in the Netherlands about doing a research project, right? So yeah, I'm guessing with the
Yeah.
pandemic, it got postponed, but now things are back to normal. You can start talking about doing it again.
Yeah, my actually my boss asked me my office
Mm.
because other professors want my office. So
Oh,
say, okay, you have to go to do your PhD. So it's time to do that. I
okay.
hope
So,
in April.
in April, okay. So are you still in the process of going through the applications, or is it certain
It's
that's going to be April?
it's more like I have to do some changes in my proposal.
Okay.
The university where I want to go,
Mhm.
I have to have a very structured proposal
Okay.
research
Hmm.
to be accepted. So
Hmm.
I have two tutors and they request me some changes. So I have
Okay.
to send it again, my proposal in January,
Hmm.
and that's all.
Tutors are in Colombia, or are they in the Netherlands?
In Netherlands for the
Okay.
university.
All right. Well, that'll be good. And how long will you be there for? Do you know? Is it 1 year, 2 years?
4 years at least.
Holy, yeah, 4 years. That's a long time.
Yeah, PhDs
Hmm.
take a long time.
Yeah. Did you already tell your family? Is your family ready for it?
Yeah, actually, my family is one of my how do you say that,
Biggest supporters?
hurry me up to
Oh,
go out to the do my PhD. Yeah,
everybody wants you to leave. Like Your boss
Yeah,
wants you to
actually,
leave. Your coworkers want you to leave. Your family wants you to leave.
everyone asks me, when did you go? When you go, I say, I don't know. I have to
Yeah,
expect. My
I know.
dean of my faculty actually say, okay, I'm ready to sign your
Mhm,
approbation. I say, no,
mhm.
I still don't have my approbation.
You
But
don't
yeah,
have your approval yet. Oh, that might be a bad sign. If everybody wants you to go, Monica, maybe you've done something wrong. Maybe you've hurt somebody's
because
feelings.
they want the best for me, kind of.
Oh, okay, okay.
Don't be.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Even
It's
when
for that.
I don't know, my mom, even when she wants the best for me, she doesn't want me to go. It's like, are you sure? Are you sure you want to do that? All right. And what do you teach? I think it's business, something in business administration, isn't it?
Yeah, my faculty is in business administration and economy. I
Mhm.
am accountant, so
Okay.
I'm department of a accounting science and IT research.
Hmm.
Research
Yeah.
for accountant and basic finance and accounting for other programs as law, economic, business,
Hmm.
and engineer.
Okay. All right. And so, because you're teaching at Javierna, so you got your bachelor's in Javierna, or where did you get your
Yeah,
bachelor's? So
it's
bachelor's in
Javierna.
Javierna,
It's
your
my alma
master's.
mater.
So
It's
like, but you got
Javierna.
all your degrees in Javierna, or did you go somewhere else?
No, at Javierna.
Oh, you just been Javierna for forever. I can see
Yeah.
why everybody wants you to leave. It's like, okay, Monica, you've been Javierna forever. You gotta you need some change. You gotta go somewhere
Yeah,
else.
yeah, you need to know on other universities.
Hmm. But you did, because you weren't always teaching. You worked at, was it Bancolombia for how long?
Yeah, I worked in Colombia for 2 years and a half,
2.5 years,
but
yeah.
in the meantime of working at Colombia, I was doing my master
Oh,
and
okay.
teaching classes too.
Oh, okay. So when you were at Bancolombia, was it more of an internship, or were you actually working there?
No, working.
Really? So, oh, this is the thing. Sometimes with some Colombian women, they work more harder than anybody else in the world. It's like,
Yeah,
how
don't
many
try
things
it.
are you
Don't
doing at
try
the
it.
same time? Yeah. So you're working full time at the bank at that time.
Yeah,
So okay,
was tough time
I
for me.
imagine. So full time, and then you were teaching on the weekends, or how did you teach at the same time?
No, actually, my schedule was uh, in the morning at
Hmm.
like 7 the 7th from 7 at 9 a.m. I was
Hmm.
in my master classes.
Okay, yeah. Hmm.
Then I went to the my office.
Hmm.
I work in like 6 p.m. and come back to the university to teach class at night.
All right, yeah.
Yeah, it was
That's
difficult.
still,
Yeah, I don't sleep
yeah. You didn't sleep. No,
in
I
this
can't
time
imagine.
at this time. Yeah.
Well, I can never complain from now on that my schedule is tough. I'll think about you, Monica, whenever I want to complain.
Yeah.
Uh, well, I guess we can. What else can I talk to you about personal? Yeah. Well, actually, the other thing interesting about Monica is that she has a twin. Her twin is her brother. But yeah, because, well, this is a good one for Latinos, because I'm learning this in Spanish. In Spanish, there are mellizos and there are gemelos, right?
Yeah,
So your brother is your mellizo.
mellizo. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right.
So if you're wondering, we don't really have a term for this. I think Monica asked me one time what's the term for it, and
Yeah.
I think we say maybe fraternal twin is what you say, because fraternal, so it's like you have a brother and there's a sister, so it's like, or it could be brother and a brother, but they look different. So Monica and her brother, they look similar, but they look a little bit different. So yeah, they're, I guess, fraternal twins. I think it's the term. Her brother also took classes with me as well. So yeah,
Yeah.
she has a nice family. And when I'm in Bogota, sometimes we meet up, but Monica always takes me for vegetarian food, and I'm not happy about that. She wants
Yeah.
me to be happy, but I'm not happy about that. All right.
Um,
Now I guess let's get into learning English. So when did you start learning English, Monica?
Actually, in Colombia, we have to take classes at the school,
Hmm.
in my bachelor, in my university. I take classes, but it's basic level. Like
Hmm.
you have to get like a B1 with two. We have
B1, B2,
one.
yeah. Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's all.
Hmm.
that
But
the university accept that. But at the university, I take 2 classes at academy. I don't know how to
at
say that, like
academy, an institute, an academy, yeah, yeah.
an institution.
Mhm.
Yeah, I improved my English, but when you stop it to take their classes, you stop your process. You don't
Mhm.
have continue. You don't create your habits
Mhm.
to learn by yourself like that.
Mhm.
So it's
Well, yeah.
difficult.
And then with your schedule, yeah, it'd be very difficult. So, but yeah, but you started basically since elementary school, right?
Yeah.
But I think most Colombians have told me, elementary school, high school, English. Well, I think somebody told me, no, actually, this was a Venezuelan told me, but I think it's very similar in Colombia. Basically, every year you just learn the verb to be, how to conjugate the verb to be. Just, I am a teacher, you are a teacher, we are a teacher. Just every
Yeah.
year, same thing over and over again.
It's the same methodology for all the courses
Mhm.
in all your steps.
But you study at Javierna, so I'm curious because from what I learned from Latinos, always, if you want to get the best English education, you gotta study at a private institute, like a private colegio, and then university got study at a private university. And Javierna is one of the top universities in Colombia. So, well, obviously you're not gonna talk bad at Javierna because you work there right now, but is that a stereotype or is it true? Are the English classes really good at
No,
Javierna or are they okay?
have good classes, has a good level, but it's not the level that you can put it in practice in the real life. It's more like to defend like academic tasks, like
Okay.
reading a text, a paper,
Okay.
write some presentation,
Mhm.
but not for half a. This is what I think now.
Mhm.
Not my institutional comment.
Yeah.
It's more like a formal things, a
Okay.
basic intervention, not for
Mhm.
have to real conversations
Mhm.
or in your journey.
Okay.
I don't think so.
Okay. Yes. Well, it makes sense, right? It's a academic institution, so they want you to know academic English. So it's mostly focused on that. Just as they say in Spanish. How do we say in English? But yeah, defenderse en el ambiente académico, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. What do you say? What do you say that? We don't say fend for yourself. Fend for yourself. It sounds like you're in a forest and you're fighting wolves if you say that in English. But we understand. All right. And then you went to the private institute. Was a private institute? Well, do you know which private institute it was, or?
Yeah. I can have to say the name.
Well, yeah, I
No
don't care.
problem.
Yeah, I don't work
Yeah,
with any
I
private institute.
studied. The name was Wall Street. It's
Wall Street.
famous
Yeah.
here in
Oh,
Colombia.
yes. I almost got a job at Wall Street English.
It's quite famous here in Colombia.
Yeah.
And they don't have like you don't have to go to the institute at the same time every day. You can control that.
Oh, okay.
But was a little bit bored because you have to go to sit down in front of computer and go to the videos, answer questions, and write something. You have a teacher that you can add something. He came when you finish to review your
Oh, okay.
points or something like
Yeah.
that. And that's all. They have another activities like meetings, like I don't know, social activities. But as a no social person and maybe anxious
Yeah.
person, it
Yeah.
doesn't work for me because I feel terrified when I have to go to the meetings when I don't know anybody.
Okay.
So I avoid this kind of events. And
Okay.
these events wasn't mandatory. So
Oh,
I
okay. Yeah.
passed the courses only with going to the computer. So it's not practical. I get a good level there. It's not bad. But it's the same after school. You learn vocabulary, you learn like a specific topic, like a restaurant, airport, business, something like that.
Okay.
But you can practice with anyone. if you don't go to these social activities that you don't anyone, and there are for all the ages, and for you it's like for me it's
Oh, yeah.
uncomfortable to go there. Like
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know you, why I have to talk to you if I
Oh,
don't know you.
no, I agree. I always, in university too, in any type of classes. Remember university, they would make you do like group activities and you don't know the person. And I was like, oh yeah, I got like get to know you, even though I know I'm not going to see you again, probably for the rest of my life. I got to act friendly with you, even though I don't know who you are. Yeah, probably for some extroverted people watching this, they think it's kind of weird, but yeah, I'm like Monica. I'm an introverted person. I don't really like getting to know people that I know I'm never going to talk to or that I'm not interested in. Who knows? Maybe that sounds cold, but that's the way it is. It's the cold, hard truth. But it does sound interesting. I never knew that about Wall Street English. Like, so you go there, you're just on the computer, you do activities, and then the teacher doesn't really teach you. They just look over your activities. That's how it works.
Yeah, and review, and you have a book too.
Okay. But you read the book at
Uh,
the institute or you take it home and you have to do things at home?
Institute, actually, it's
Okay.
in the institute that you use it. But
Okay.
no, it's fine. The methodology maybe works for some people.
Yeah, yeah.
For me, works for a specific time.
Okay.
But after I finish my course, I say, okay, I have the level, but I don't practice anymore this kind of vocabulary or maybe grammatical things that they teach me.
Mhm.
I start to forget about it.
Okay. Yeah, for sure. Well, I guess we can go now into me, my favorite topic. So yeah, because you started taking classes with me. Trying to remember, is it 2019 or 2018?
2019.
2019? Okay.
2019 in January, because I
January?
came back to vacation and I told you I can get the first classes because I was in Cuba, I think.
Oh, you're on
I don't have
vacation.
internet. Yeah,
Oh,
I
yeah.
was on vacation in Cuba, so
Yeah.
I have to skip the first class
Okay.
to
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. Cuba
This is
doesn't
why
have
I
the best
remember.
internet. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, no, actually no.
No, you can't. I don't have any Cubans taking classes because of the political situation and the internet is not very good at all. All right. And what made you decide to take the classes? Was there something specific that attracted you
Yeah,
to the
because
classes?
I start well, the first is I want to retake my classes in English, but for my schedule was difficult to go on institute.
Okay.
I don't feel comfortable with a private professor or private,
Like
yeah,
one-on-one?
tutor. Yeah. I don't feel comfortable because some professor recommend me another teacher.
Yeah.
You can contact, but for me it's not comfortable at all. Have a private, and even he have to came back to my office. So for me, no, it's not the space to take classes. This is my job, my work. I work
Yeah.
here. I don't want to take classes here.
Yeah.
And my schedule, because I have classes maybe in the afternoon, maybe at night, so I can go to the institute. And I find you on Instagram. Actually, I start to find your live. You doing a lot of lives at this time. I know
Okay.
you know doing
I don't
yet.
do it as much anymore. But
Fortunately,
well, actually,
because you translate songs.
that.
Another
Oh,
thing.
okay. Oh yeah, yeah, I did that for.
In that.
Yeah, that was kind of fun. Yeah, I remember doing that. I was like, okay, we're gonna do a live song translation. I can't remember if it's doing English songs or Spanish songs. I think I did both.
Spanish song, and
Oh, it's
what's
Spanish
funny
songs. Yeah,
because they say to translate traditional or maybe famous songs here in Latin America,
yeah,
and try to translate, and you ask to the viewers
yeah.
that you can write what do you think that is the best way to translate this sentence, and all of the viewers start to send you a message. This is why I say, okay, interesting. And you start later after this live, you say, I want to explain my methodology. If you are interested, send me a message. So I subscribe something in your page.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I was doing that. I think I'm gonna do it again in the next year. But basically, it was just like a webinar. Well, not a webinar, but it's a presentation of the methodology where I just explained how I teach the classes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
You explain that, and you can maybe know what kind of profiles of their students are, because you ask to
Mm,
do an introduction of
mm.
themselves.
Yeah, yeah.
So I say, okay, maybe it's good. You said like they are small groups.
Mm-hmm,
So they say, okay, it's fine
mm-hmm,
for me. And that's all. Yeah, you say, yeah, if you're interested, you can send me a message for do
mm-hmm.
the payment, and I do. Maybe it was because was works for me, the
Yeah,
schedule works
yeah.
for me in that time, and say, okay, I want to try it. Maybe it works, maybe it doesn't works.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I give it the chance for
Yeah, you
you,
gave,
your
gave,
classes.
gave it a try. Yeah. Wow, it must have been pretty good. You stayed for a while. Yeah, I stayed for like 3 years. So
Yeah,
I did a pretty good job. Made a good first impression. That's good.
yeah.
Actually, I'm curious about that because so did you find like an Instagram post, or did Instagram somehow show you my live? Did you discover the live first, or did you
No,
discover
I
an
think was
Instagram
a
post?
post.
Oh,
I
okay,
think
okay.
was a post, and I
Mm,
start to, yeah, to looking what you post about English,
mm-hmm,
and I follow you, and after that I noticed that you do a lot of live,
mm-hmm.
uh, IG live. I don't know how to say that.
Yeah, Instagram lives. Yeah.
And yeah, I start to look in some of
Okay.
them, and when you start to talk about your cars,
Mm-hmm,
I say, okay, maybe
mm-hmm,
was interesting. Was interesting because you say, the perfect cow. You are. How do you say that before? Like
Oh,
uh,
my catchphrase that I always said
yeah,
before. Es,
yeah.
was it, es tu
La,
profe favorito. ¿Cómo me llamo?
tu profe favorito de
Yeah.
Latinoamérica. Something like that. I say, what favorite? Anyone that I know in IG know
Yeah.
you. What you think? But yeah, it's funny because for your attitude, yeah, I say,
Well, yeah, I tell people, well, the people that don't know me, they're missing out. They're missing out on the greatest English
no,
teacher
no,
in the
no, don't do
world. Yeah.
that again.
Mhm.
Don't do that.
It was good. No, everybody
And
remembered me. Everybody remembered me. I think
yeah,
the
but it's
only
your
yeah.
evolution, Kyle. Don't go back to this
But
time.
well, I think the only reason I don't do it anymore is because like you waste like 10 seconds in the video with the introduction. So
Okay.
I was like, okay, I gotta go straight into the material, else I'm just wasting
Yeah,
time.
it's not necessary, Kyle.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
not
I only
necessary.
do it on special occasions now. All right. And well, actually, in this case, you kind of knew what to expect in the classes. Well, so let's go through different periods. So before you took that presentation of my classes, did you have an idea in your head of what my classes could be?
No, actually, no. I thought that this was the same classes that you maybe explain a topic, give
Mm,
us exercise,
mm,
and and do some examples. Maybe I
mm,
thought that the first time that,
mm,
and when you explain me that your methodology, I say, okay, it's interesting because you I don't remember what kind of activities doing in the start at the beginning,
mm,
but maybe it was like a short stories,
mm,
and you ask us some questions.
mm,
um the songs, you do the songs like you choose the songs, but you explain us something
mm,
about the band, something about the context,
mm,
story context, or yeah, the terms that it's
mm.
so gringos that we don't understand.
Yeah, exactly.
uh, I don't remember what more activities. I say, oh, maybe it's interest, maybe it's not as a traditional,
Mm,
but I have to confess that was
mm,
a shocking when I take your classes at the first weeks,
mm,
because it's different. And when
mm,
you are used to another methodologies, it's
mm,
a shock because you say, maybe this new methodology doesn't work for me.
mm,
It's weird. And yeah, I'm maybe it's for me, my personality.
mm,
I have to start to be more comfortable to talking another students with other
mm,
students. Say, talk to each other,
mm.
talk about you. Talk. I say, oh my god, I don't want to talk about me. I hate that. Eh,
Yeah.
but it's I like that you start to build bonds with the other students.
Mm,
For example, I have a good or nice people that I remember of the courses, like Angela, like another ones. So it's good because you start to talk more about their days, their problems, their families, and take their classes too, like a practice English in the normal routine, in the normal conversation, no structured conversation. Hi, how are you? How old are you? Where are you from? It's not like that. And it's more friendly, adapt to your methodology, because you start like give us ideas. What do you think about it? It's not normal in English. They have a structure, a task or lecture that you have to do one step by step, and you are more flexible. That is help, but it's not flexible in the bad way. Flexible like do whatever you want. No, do what your abilities and skills let you do, and try to I don't know, support with your classmates. And that's my experience. I feel at the beginning I feel shocked, like, okay, this is not for me. Maybe I take the first month and I stop it, because like I talk all the time. Usually when you go to class, you only listen the teacher, no? And take notes. At the beginning, I don't know what I have to take notes. He maybe do a quiz. I don't know how to evaluate my process, but you take notes of your student. This is good because you don't have to do a exam. You only you look all the time to your students and take note, like maybe for she or he has this difficulty, has this problem, doesn't understand. I hate the, how do you say, passive voice. I hate that exercises every time. And you do it every time, and you ask me every time. I hate that now, actually. But you feel like a good pressure, like okay, they notice that maybe for me this is topic that I don't like, I don't feel comfortable, and you help us to find a way to overcome this difficulty.
Yeah, for sure. Well, because you're a professor, so you have a different perspective. Because I interviewed Elga. I think you remember Elga. Yeah, I think you guys
I remember her.
You liked Elga. Yeah, Elga's a nice Colombian lady. And Elga, the thing that she kept on telling me is like, your classes are fun but structured. She kept on saying that. And then you kind of say something different. You're saying more flexible. Classes are more flexible. So I'm guessing that's because you're a professor, right? Where in a university setting, you have to have a really, really structured classes where everything's planned out from the first minute to the last minute. And with my classes, like with Elga, she said it was structured because, of course, there's always something we were doing. So whether it was a story or a song, there's something we were doing, but it's like I guess we had fun. Well, the way you might describe it is we had fun within the context. So any opportunity I had to, talk about Colombian food or to talk about gringo stuff, we would take the opportunity to talk. And actually, I'm curious about that too, because for me, I don't tell you guys this because I'm a gringo man. I don't reveal my feelings to anybody. But, as a teacher and as a Canadian, I was always very self-conscious. It's like, oh, I don't think my students are talking enough. My students aren't talking enough. I got to make them talk more. But yeah, you just said that you were kind of, oh my God, we're talking so much in the classes. So yeah, in your opinion, is there a lot of, how much speaking happens in the classes? And according to your own standards, was there a lot of speaking, not a lot of speaking? How would you describe it?
There are classes of classes, because there are classes that maybe speaking a lot interrupt your program and take you time of the other activities. So I understand you that say, okay, shut up and do the thing that when I tell to do. But in other spaces, maybe this space to talk with others, maybe relax the students and let you feel more confidence to speak. For example, I remember some of the students, not the name, but if I am introvert, they are extreme introvert because they don't speak at all. They
Oh,
only
okay.
speak if you ask something specific for them.
Yeah.
And I feel when past the classes, they feel more comfortable to open their microphone and speak. If they don't want to show your face in camera, they speak after that. And this space maybe feel more confidence about anyone to judge you, because this is the biggest fear of the English classes. That if I make mistakes, something want fun of me, something I don't know, ask me why I speaking so bad, or why I conjugate my wrong the verb, something like that. So I feel everyone make mistakes. The rule that I like of your courses is the only person that can correct others and teach something grammatical thing or like that, it's you. Because I remember one guy that came to classes and he likes to is correct.
Yeah, he likes to correct people.
Correct people every time. I say, okay, you are learning too, so take it easy. You are not the professor or teacher. And I like because you don't say the rule, but everybody understand that the only person that can correct others, it's you, because you are the teacher, and you doing kindly, not like, oh my god, what stupid you are. No, it's like no, the one you say is that I don't understand what is your idea. Maybe you have to say this, or explain me what you want to say for in the writing classes or speaking classes. And this is that I like too.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because it's true. I've never told anybody like, hey, I'm the boss. Well, actually, I think sometimes I said sarcastically like, hey, I'm the boss here. But I never really, at the beginning of classes, I never say, all right, everybody, here's the rules. I'm the only one who's gonna do this. But it's true. I don't like it when people who are learning any language, like for example, if I'm learning Portuguese and Russian right now, if I would feel very uncomfortable, and I would not want somebody who doesn't know Portuguese or Russian to try to correct my Russian or Portuguese, because they could be right, but that's just my own experience learning Spanish. I've had so many Latin Americans try to explain grammar to me, and they've screwed up my Spanish so many times. I just go, okay, I can't trust people anymore. I don't know who to trust. They'll tell me lies. So, but yeah, I do something. I don't know what I do in classes, but I'm very happy that nobody in classes tries to explain grammar instead of me. Of course, when I do explain vocabulary and grammar, I do like it when you guys, give me feedback, or maybe it's like this, maybe it's like that. It's like, yeah, that's a good point. It could be like that. But yeah, when it comes to teaching things, I make sure I'm in charge. I think there's two things I wanted to go back to. I guess the one, you said the first month you told us that I don't think this is for me. So what after? Because during that first month you were taking classes, you weren't really sure about continuing. So what made you continue? Was there a class that happened? Was there something that happened in your personal life? What made you decide to keep on going?
No, the classes, because at the first one, I feel what kind is you say that as a professor and as a person that take classes in other institutes, for me was a confrontation. Like I don't understand what he trying to do in classes. I don't know why he separate the activities by classes. Is not the classes that I used to take in English. This is what maybe it's not the methodology that worked for me or that liked me. So okay, I got to take the first month. But when you start to get too used to your methodology, to understand, to feel comfortable, to feel more confident, and you feel and see the progress that you have in class. This is what I make change my mind. I don't say the first class, I say, I don't like that, and stop the class. No.
Well, yeah, that'd be
Say,
very rude. I would not like that. Yeah.
No. Maybe you have to, or I have to give the chance to different things. The way I understand as a professor that not all the people learn the same way. We have different things that works for everyone, and this is why I shock, because it's different that when I do in my professional life and the former experience that I have in other institutes. So this is why I start to feel like a freaking out, like I make a mistake. I don't have to. What I think about it to pay these courses if I don't understand the methodology. But yeah, no, you start to understand your methodology and see that it's a dynamic, because I take classes at night, so it's not easy for everyone to take classes at night. Even for me, I teach at night, but not take classes. It's different, teach and take. So I think it's different, because it was the same methodology that I take before. I say, okay, I can do that because I get sleep. Yeah. Sometimes I do, but was because I'm really tired to work. Not for your classes.
You turned off the camera. You turned off the camera when that happened.
But was one time, because I feel okay. I can do that today.
Oh, I never knew about that. It's a secret. First time I learned about this.
Yeah, you ignore me in classes sometimes. It's normal for me coming too.
Well, I think the last thing I want to touch on before we move on to the next question, because you talked about I make the students feel comfortable. I'm able to like bring students together, which I think is one of my strong suits as a teacher and with this methodology. But at the same time, I'm curious to know, is there something specifically that I do that make you guys feel comfortable with each other, that makes you guys feel comfortable to, not be afraid to make mistakes in classes? What makes classes so comfortable?
I think is the thing that I do in my classes. For me, it's important that people feel that I remember you and I know who you are. No, you are a student 1, student 2, student 3. No, you are Monica, you are Helga, you are Angela. She works to do. So when you start all the months, you give us some introduction in each class if someone new, and it feel good, like, okay, the teacher know who I am, teacher listen us, because it's difficult, no? I think this is when you start to feel comfortable, because you say, okay, I'm not a number, I'm not a screen only thing. I am person that have like, I don't know how to say, like you give us importance in your class. No, okay, I have 8 people connect in my class. No, it's not 8 people, it's Helga, Pedro, Pepito, Juanito, and they have behind of them stories, experience, interesting things that we can talk about it. So I think this is the thing that why you feel us comfortable.
Make you guys feel comfortable.
Make up.
All right. Okay. Yeah, makes sense for sure. And well, in every interview I do, because I think it's one of the things that. So yeah, you told me that was confusing how I divided the classes into different. I don't know. I don't even.
Activities.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I guess quickly for anybody watching this, so you got story class, you got pronunciation class, you got music class, you got speaking class, you got like a presentation class. There's different classes, and we try to focus on not really like a grammar aspect, maybe like a little bit of an ability, but it's more like focus on like an activity. I like what you said, Monica. Like we focus on an activity. Well, so before you started taking the classes, though, was there one thing that was giving you problems with the English? Was there one thing that you felt like was a weakness that you really wanted to improve, or was this you just wanted to take some classes?
For me it was difficult always speak. I good listener,
Mhm.
I good reader, but for me speak
Mhm.
and write
Mhm.
was difficult for me, because speak, I think all the time that I can find the correct words to express my ideas, or I
Mhm. Yeah.
repeat a lot of time, a lot of a word. I
Mhm.
start to freaking out. This, I don't know how to say that,
Mhm.
because that you say in class, you start to translate in your mind.
Mhm.
Yeah, you have to start to think in English, not translate, because you start to mix the words, mix the
Mhm.
sense, mix the order,
Mhm.
and everything. For me, and every time like they thought like someone is judging me if I
Mhm.
make a mistakes,
Mhm.
because we have this problem in Latin America. We
Mhm.
think if we don't have the perfect English, it's better
Mhm.
don't speak,
Yeah.
because everyone is laughing you or something like that.
Mhm.
And write, because I don't have a lot of scenarios to write.
Okay.
So when I have to write, it's an email,
Mhm.
uh, and that's all in my work. But when I start to do a research, I have to start to write it, and I'm freaking out, because I don't have to start. I don't have if this is the correct word.
Mhm.
And when you teach us in classes, maybe this is the formal way to write, and this is
Mhm.
the informal way. So, for example, for Monica and Helga that works in a professional scenarios, you maybe have to use that
Mhm. Yeah.
sentence, expression, something like that.
Mhm.
And for everyone in the normal and common conversation, you can use that. It's this
Yeah.
proper thing. The structure, no, because in Spanish we put a lot of words in a sentence and put a lot of explanation of text. And you
Mhm.
say now in English you'll be more concise, more yeah, you don't have to a long extension, a paragraph, like
Mhm.
you don't know when you start and you finish.
Yeah, get straight to the point. Yeah. Yeah. Get
Yeah,
to the
yeah, yeah.
point, please. Yeah.
But in Spanish we don't do that, so kind of
No.
it's
No. Yeah.
difficult for
Yeah.
Latinos.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
But you can practice that, because
Mhm.
in the classes the activity was write a paragraph about something.
Mhm.
uh, you force like, okay, I have to take the rules that Kyle give us to
Mhm.
make us good paragraph, not for good grades, because you don't give us grades,
Mhm.
but for good, okay, you have to improvement in
Mhm.
your right, or maybe you can start to understand what I'm
Mhm.
saying when I say you always have to put a subject
Mhm.
here, because it's not usually in English you don't put a subject, and for us in Spanish it's normal.
Yeah.
So for me it was two things: speak and
Mhm.
write short text
So yeah, that was before the classes, and then
before.
like after taking the classes for 3 years, are those the two things that improved the most, or what was the thing that improved the most during your time with the classes?
During the time, it's speaking, not both for
Yeah.
me. Because speaking, I'm speaking here. If I don't take your classes, I don't speak, because I freak out for speak for anyone that I
Mhm.
know, but obviously I know you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, but I have to take a lot of my objective to get into a PhD. I have
Mhm.
to take a lot of interviews with the
Mhm.
professors
Mhm.
that is not even English native, is
Mhm.
I know their second language is English.
Mhm.
Um, at my job, I have to take a lot of interviews too with the professors come to visit us, to give us a classes, a conference, in a workshops. I'll be in the morning. I have to take a workshop with a professor in Singapore.
Mhm.
It's everything in English, so I
Mhm.
have to the possibility to speak more confident.
Mhm.
Oh, it's normal, I think.
Mhm.
It's make mistakes because I don't understand, or maybe I don't find the correct words. But I don't feel that fair that like I
Mhm.
feel before to
Okay.
express myself, to
Mhm.
make mistakes. Maybe I make mistakes, but I think even I hurry. How do you say hurry up? Like another professor that don't feel comfortable, or how do you say that? Like
Like
motivarlas.
Oh, like you want them to speak quicker, or
Yeah. I speak
okay,
more because
or speak more?
another professor that maybe is older than me but
Mm-hmm.
don't feel comfortable to speak
Okay.
in English. I say, you are doing great, don't problem. If you need some
Okay.
help, I help
Mm.
you, even I don't know what do you think
Yeah.
or want to say.
Mhm.
So yeah, or even more my students, I do more activities in English. I
Mhm.
invited professors that don't speak Spanish
Mhm.
here in my faculty, and I say my students, okay, anyone here is native,
Mhm.
so everyone here makes mistakes in English,
Mhm.
but the thing is give you a chance to practice, to feel that you have the possibilities and the skills and the capabilities to do that with some mistakes, but you can do that. It's not anything like block you or don't let you do that.
Mhm.
And in writing, yeah, because I have to write my proposal in English. And obviously, I can use Google Translator to write a research proposal
Mhm. Yeah. No,
because it's
not a good
a
idea.
academic Spanish
Uh-huh.
academic text.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, use some tools and be more conscious about how the rules works. Like be more punctual. Like be more on the point that you want to do. There are words that you prefer not use in academic text because looks informal.
Mhm.
Um, and that yeah, like oh, every time I avoid to write things,
Mhm.
like no, I don't want to. Well, I do a good quick answer.
Mhm.
Prefer do the quick answer. I don't know, explain that the thing what I do, what I have to do.
Mhm.
So yeah, I feel more confidence, or I don't giving up at the first time that I have to write text
Mhm.
or speak with our professors. Maybe there are a lot of how do you say, foreign professors here in the
Mhm.
faculty
Yeah.
that doesn't speak Spanish, so
Mhm.
they start to talk to you in English. Yeah, every time I avoid them. Yeah, I
Mhm.
say I don't want to talk to you, but they are so friendly, so they try to speak to me. You say, "Fuck, I don't want to talk." And that's why I take the chance, and I don't skip this opportunity that I have to
Mhm.
practice my English. This is
Mhm.
other thing now, because always when you don't feel comfortable, you try to avoid all the situation that
Mhm.
make you feel uncomfortable in other language, and say that, oh, yeah, I have to take. What is the worst thing that could happen there?
Mhm.
Like maybe I don't understand. I have to say that. Can you repeat me the idea or the
Mhm.
question or the thing that you say?
Mhm.
Or I don't know how to say that. Let me give me a second that I have to order my ideas
Mhm.
or ask help for a colleague. That this is not bad, because this is the things that's happen in the real life.
Yeah,
Um,
Monica is breaking the stereotype of friendly Colombians. I don't want to talk to that guy.
yeah, I have problem with
These
that guy.
friendly foreigners. Oh my goodness, they're so friendly. Why do they have to be so friendly?
Sorry, I am not like a friendly or I this opposite like my brother.
Yeah,
I know my brother
yeah.
is
Oh
other
yeah. Your brother
person.
Sergio he's a very friendly guy. Yeah. Okay, we're almost at the end here. This one's a quick question. In your own words, how would you describe my methodology? Because it's difficult for me. I don't even know how to describe my methodology, so I always ask the students. So if you could try to describe my methodology in one or two sentences, how would you describe it to somebody?
Like maybe it's a adaptable methodology for the students,
Okay.
flexible in the way that they understand the context of the classes, the mood of the students, even
Mhm.
more. Like something's happened in your life, so maybe something happened in a country. We are
Mhm.
in the different countries,
Mhm.
so
Yeah.
if the situation is not good on the country or historically something
Mhm.
happened like a pandemic,
Mhm.
we can put it in the context of the class,
Mhm.
adapt the activity to do
Mhm.
something related to.
Mhm.
Um, friendly. Maybe it's friendly for people that don't like structured classes that all the Latin Americans are get used to take in the past.
Yeah.
And I don't know how more. It's flexible, adaptable, friendly, and it maybe sounds like a cliche because it's another way to learn, but yeah, you have things
Yes.
like you do it in classes,
Mhm.
but yeah, you can say, this is a innovative wave or a new wave. No, it's not a new way because you do activities like the normal you do when you learn a language, but maybe change the 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 way you interact with others.
Mhm.
You have guaranteed you guarantee the participation of the others, of
Mhm.
all the students. No, maybe because when there are a group and if you don't talk, the professor or teacher don't ask you and say, okay, he never talk, he never turn on the camera, he never.
Mhm.
No, like you motivate people to interact in classes.
Mhm.
uh, like a, how do you say, like a fight with their fears in the language,
Yeah.
because everyone have problems with the fear of something.
Mhm.
Maybe I have fears at the beginning to speak,
Mhm.
and others one have problem to, I don't know, to write, because sometimes you find annoying do this text like say, I don't know how to say that, I don't want
Mhm.
to make a mistakes. um, but you say, okay, do the better thing you can do at this time.
Mhm.
um, let's see what's happened. Maybe make mistakes, maybe don't do make mistakes, don't make mistakes, or maybe you are doing a good job for you, for your level. You don't compare students. This is the other thing that I like, because if no, we don't have grades or like
Mhm.
a
Yeah.
qualification,
Yeah.
so you don't have compare. Maria had got a 5 and
Mhm.
Pepita too got 2. So
Mhm.
we are worse students of the class. No, everyone was a process, and
Mhm.
everyone admirate. I don't know how to say. Feel
Admired
admired,
or
eh, or I don't know, say congrats for the others, because
like
everyone
everybody was
say,
yeah. Oh, I know.
how do you
Yeah.
say, who lives in Texas, Houston? Uh,
Oh,
how is
Jennifer.
she
Yeah,
called?
Jennifer. Jennifer.
Jennifer. Everyone say Jennifer has a really good accent
Uh-huh.
for your English. And I know, but even she don't recognize herself,
Mhm.
his level.
Mhm.
But everyone in class say, Jennifer, what are you doing here? You speak great for us. Obviously she has problems. This is why she takes classes.
Mhm.
But for us, okay, you're doing something better. Or if anyone we notice that have problem to speaking and feeling
Mhm.
comfortable,
Mhm.
we say, no, I understand you, you're doing great, you try it, or why do you want to say, and I helped you. So this is a good thing to do,
Mhm.
like it's more fraternal work in your
Okay.
classes, not that competition.
All right. Yeah, for sure. Well, it's learning a language too. Yeah. You gotta get better. As Latinos will say, sí o sí. You're gonna get better. Yes. Yes or yes. You're gonna get better. Mhm.
Yeah, that's right.
All right. And I think maybe the last thing. So yeah, you took the classes. Uh, I I think you gave a few examples. Maybe just a quick answer. Have you felt the classes have helped you in your everyday life?
Yeah, for sure, because as I said, you give us the words to express maybe situation, feelings, things that happen in the regular days. Not
Mhm.
if you are in an airport and you, I don't know, speak with a Japanese, say maybe this is never happens to me. This
Mhm.
is the example that you find in the word in the books
Mhm.
or normal books. But you say, okay. when you speak about your city and something it's happening in Colombia or in Bogota, you say, okay, in Bogota you can say something like that because this is typical. Or we don't find the translation of the expression that you say, like esforzarse or defenderse. Or I actually, there are a lot of expression we told you. Like, I don't know, say we in Bogota, even is for more specific because even Colombia is different expression that Helga have because she's from Bucaramanga and I have because I'm from Bogota. So you give us, maybe you want to say that, or this expression in English you can reduce at this word, and that's all. So yeah, you can, you help, the classes help me to express more confidence
Express
in
yourself more
normal days.
confidently. All right.
Yeah.
All right, good. And well, yeah, that's all I got for now. So any last comments? Anything else somebody should know if they're thinking about taking the classes or experiencing the Profe Kyle methodology?
So don't give it up, even if you
Don't
have
give up. Okay.
word a bad class not for the methodology of by Kyle. Maybe you don't feel comfortable, or maybe you don't feel like in the same level of your classmates. It's different for everyone. It's a process for everyone, but you have to understand, you have to do more things for yourself that they only take a classes. You take a classes, but you have to watch movies, listen music, try to speak with others. I don't know, review the vocabulary you learn in the classes. Maybe take notes. It's not a video call; it's a class. So you have to take notes or something like help you, and that's all. Yeah. Give it a chance to
be
make
patient.
something for you. And be patient. For you, every process is different and take time. And learn a language is have take time. Even if you go to the country that is only speak English, you have to take time to adapt to the accent, to the words, to the pronunciation. Is different. Everything like a big class.
Yeah. Actually, maybe that question to end this for you, who knows, maybe you can't say exactly, but how many months would you say would somebody need to start really noticing the results of the methodology? Or like, obviously with you took class for 3 years, so obviously you kept on seeing results, but was there in the very beginning, was there like after 1 month, 2 months, 3 months?
I think when you take 2 months, you start to feel the changes. It's not like you became a bilingual person in a 2 months, but you start to feel like I start to remember vocabulary. I start to remember expressions, phrase and verbs. How do you say that? Phrase and verbs. And I think there are a good activity that Kyle has in your classes that is like tell me something interesting of your day or your weekend. So when you start to take classes with Kyle, you start to think all the time what I want to say when the Kyle became with the word with this question. And I speak with about it with Sergio, my brother, because you don't think that happens to you, like you start to think in every day what I want to tell you, Kyle, when the class came. Say I think I don't know how to translate. I want to tell Kyle that I don't know, say I went to a concert, or that I have a fight with my best friend or something like that. I don't know how to say something, and you're looking for about the answer to be prepared classes. This is funny because I don't think you planned that, but this has happened. What Laura have, a friend of mine, have take classes with you too. So she asked me every time, I want to tell you something, but I don't know how to say that. I want to, I don't know, something I want to tell you. So you start to think it, what is the correct way to tell him about something? Or I don't know, have this expression or typical things that's happen in your country or in your city, you don't find the correct translation. So you want to tell you, so you force you to look to go to the dictionary or Google it about how to say something. And this is another activity. Maybe you don't plan it, but works in your methodology because this question, like when you start the classes, uh, I don't know, you don't left us task or homework for other days, but this is kind of homework.
Yeah.
Like you don't do that because you prepare like in your mind, so you don't write it. But you feel anxious to say, I want to tell you something. And when you ask it, okay, Monica, what do you exciting things happen in your weekend? And say, oh my God, I want to tell you a lot of things.
Okay.
I Jennifer, for example, that
Oh yeah,
is
Jennifer
the good.
always had
She
lots of.
want she told stories with a lot of details.
Yeah, a lot of detail.
So
Every
she
detail
takes
was
a lot of
important.
time and say, okay, but what is the point of your story? Because we lost for everyone,
Yeah,
and it's interesting to know what's happening in their
yeah,
life for the others. This is a good thing.
yeah, for sure. All right. Well, I think that's good enough for now, Monica. You've given us lots of detail. So, yeah, if somebody doesn't know what my classes are about, they should know after this. So we'll say goodbye to everybody who is watching this interview. Thank you for watching. And obviously, thanks, Monica, for her time. And I'll talk quickly to Monica before she goes to do whatever she wants. But thank you, everybody, for watching. And we'll see you in the next interview. Goodbye.